Hello, welcome to this video on AWS Amplify. Today we will discuss how this amazing tool makes full stack app development so easy and efficient. We will also cover its features, benefits, and architecture. Let's get started. So, what exactly is AWS Amplify? It's a set of tools and services from AWS that helps us build modern apps, be it web or mobile. The best part, it handles all the complicated backend stuff like cloud configurations. So even if you are new to cloud computing, you can use it easily. If you want to create apps quickly and with good scalability, Amplify is perfect for you. Why should you use Amplify? First, it integrates with AWS services smoothly, saving you lots of time. It works with framework like React, Angular, and Vue. So no worries if you already have your favorite framework. Plus, it comes with pre-built UI components and supports secure user authentication. Amplify is a great choice whether you are doing rapid prototyping or building production-ready apps. Let me tell you about the main features of AWS Amplify. It has authentication for user sign up and sign in. You can easily build APIs like GraphQL or REST, your choice. It manages storage for file uploads and downloads. Hosting is super secure and fast with built-in CI/CD pipelines. You can even integrate push notifications to stay connected with your app users. And lastly, its analytics helps you track how your app is being used. Here is how Amplify works behind the scenes. For frontend, you get tools like CLI and libraries that are easy to use. On the backend, Amplify can automatically set up services like Cognito for authentication, DynamoDB for databases, and Lambda for serverless functions. All of this is seamlessly connected, and updates are deployed smoothly using CI/CD pipelines. It's truly an all-in-one solution. This diagram showcases how AWS Amplify integrates with other AWS services to build scalable applications. Let's break it down step by step. On the left, we see the user. They interact with the application through a web or mobile interface, initiating requests that flow into the system. The first stop for the user's interaction is AWS Amplify. Amplify acts as the front-end hosting service and integrates the application with the back-end resources. It's also linked with GitHub, enabling automated CI/CD pipelines. When developers push changes to the GitHub repository, Amplify detects the updates, builds the application, and deploys it automatically. AWS Amplify forwards user requests to API Gateway, which manages these requests and routes them to appropriate backend services. API Gateway ensures secure and scalable handling of the application's API, acting as a bridge between the front-end and backend. From API Gateway, requests are sent to AWS Lambda, a serverless compute service. Lambda processes the request by running custom business logic. For example, it could validate data, perform calculations, or retrieve relevant information. Lambda connects to DynamoDB, a NoSQL database, to store or retrieve application data. DynamoDB offers high availability and scalability, making it ideal for real-time applications that need fast performance. To summarize this, the user interacts with the app through Amplify, which handles front-end hosting and back-end integration. Amplify uses API Gateway to route requests to Lambda, where the back-end logic executes, and DynamoDB provides a scalable solution for storing and retrieving data. This architecture demonstrates a robust and efficient setup for building modern cloud applications using AWS services. Let's look at the advantages. Amplify saves time, ensures scalability, and is secure. But like everything, it has some challenges. There is a learning curve if you are new, and it's tied to AWS, so moving to another platform later can be tricky. Amplify also has a special feature called the sandbox. It's like a test lab where you can experiment with settings and features without worrying about your production app. It's great for trying new ideas, collaborating with teammates, and even rolling back if something goes wrong. It makes development safe and efficient. Now, let's begin step by step to set up AWS Amplify and deploy our first backend and frontend. Let's start. First, let's set up our system for AWS Amplify. WSL, that's the Windows subsystem for Linux. Now, update the packages using sudo apt update. Now, install the Node.js with the command sudo apt install Node.js. Now, also install npm. After this, check if Node and npm are installed correctly. Yes, Node and npm are installed. Now, install the Amplify CLI globally by running the command sudo npm install. It will take some time. Now, verify the installation with Amplify version. That's it for the basic setup. Next, we will initialize Amplify for our project. Run the command amplify init, press yes. It is asking for access key. For the access key and secret key, we will create them in AWS. Go to AWS IAM, go to user, create a new user. I'm going to give a name GTS Amplify. Next, select attach policies directly. So we can attach the policies that administrator access policies and amplify backend deploy full access. Next, create user. Now, inside this user, go to security credentials, scroll down to access key, click on create access key, select the use case CLI command line interface. Don't forget to check this box. Copy the access key and secret key. Paste it over here. Select your region. That's it. You can see here, Amplify has been initialized successfully. Once Amplify is initialized, you can check in the AWS Amplify console your backend is set up. Now let's deploy the front end. Go inside the Amplify. In the Amplify console, go to branches and click on Get Started. Now I'm going to select Deploy without Git. For this, compress your project's index.html file on your local machine. Now upload this file and save and deploy. Once it's deployed, you will get a URL in the branches section. Open this URL. That's our front-end deployment done. Now let's set up an API and connect it to a Lambda function. Go to backend environment, go inside the dev, scroll down here. We can see the overview of our activity. Amplify AMP1 created completed. Go to API section, scroll down and copy the provided API command. First I clear the screen. Paste it in your terminal. This command adds a new API like REST or GraphQL to your Amplify project. I'm going to select the REST. Provide a friendly name for your resource to be used as a label for this category in the project. Name something like my first API. Keep the default path. Provide an AWS Lambda function name. For example, my first Lambda function. And I'm going to choose the runtime Node.js. Select Hello World as the sample program. Do you want to configure advanced settings? No. Do you want to edit the local Lambda function now? No. Restrict API access? No. Do you want to add another path? No. Successfully added resource. My first Lambda function locally. Successfully added Lambda function locally. This is my first app API locally. Now run the command amplify push. This command apply and sync local backend changes like APIs, authentication, or storage with the AWS cloud environment, making them live and accessible. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Once completed, your API and Lambda functions are deployed. To check your deployments, go to CloudFormations. You will see that the API and Lambda have been created. Now verify API gateway also. My first API has been created, and now Lambda function, and also check S3. You can see here Lambda function also has been created. See, you can see all resources are set up and working. Finally, after testing, let's clean up to avoid extra charges. Go back to Amplify and open the backend environment. Here, actions, delete. This will take a few minutes. Now, delete tab. Deleted successfully. Confirm that API Gateway Lambda and S3 services are deleted. Refresh it. Yes. In this session, we have learned how to set up AWS Amplify, deploy a front end and back end, and add an API with the Lambda functions. AWS Amplify makes app development so simple and powerful. Thank you.